It's pretty different, actually. This whole big company thing is pretty different. I mean, I think of it based on employee count and based on number of offices. So, I mean, I was in the New York office yesterday, just for a couple of hours, meeting with some investors, but also talking to our 100 or so employees in New York. I mean, we now have 700 people in Seattle, just a block away. We have 150 in Bellevue. We have 400 in San Francisco, 300 in Irvine, 300 in Denver, 50 in Lincoln, Nebraska, and 100 in New York. I don't know if I totaled to 2,000. Hopefully, I got close. And so what is it like managing all that? It's a lot of people stuff. I mean, I'm a sort of glorified head of HR. Is sort of what the CEO of a company at that size is all about. If it's not employee retention stuff, it's employee recruitment stuff. I mean, that's that I spent a lot of time on that.
You spent time obviously in the smaller version of that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Hotwire was there for you, wasn't 2,000 people all at once.
Yeah, I mean, Hotwire maxed at 200 employees, and Zillow was 1,000 employees until 3 weeks ago when we merged with Trulia. So we just doubled in size. It took us 8 years to hire the first 1,000 people, and then overnight we added another 1,000. So what's the big difference? The big difference between a couple hundred. There are a couple inflection points as companies grow, and I've seen this twice now, because Hotwire was 200 employees when we sold to Expedia, and I joined an 8,000 employee company, I think it was at the time. So the couple inflection points are when a startup gets to about 20 employees, it no longer makes sense to do the daily stand-up of what's everyone working on. Because when you're 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 employees, you do the what's up everybody, kind of around the table. And at 20 or so people, that becomes inefficient and sort of a waste of time. And so then you cancel that meeting, but it's still necessary for a couple of people to do it. So you get the first sense of hierarchy. Maybe the 3 people do it or the 5 people do it. And all of a sudden, there's sort of a senior-junior divide at kind of 20 people. At about 100 people stop knowing everyone's name. And at about 200 people stop pretending that they know everybody's name because everyone accepts that it's sort of impossible. And then once you pass, 300 or 400, it's a totally different game in terms of sort of knowledge of what everyone's up to. The biggest difference overall is, and what I definitely miss on some days, is I'm not as involved in product decisions as I used to be. It's just impossible to be. And I think that that is hard for a lot of founders, especially.
Because most of them are product.
Yeah, most of them grew up through product. They're engineers or PMs or designers or whatever, just really involved in product. And it's not. I mean, I probably could be. I guess I could clear my calendar to be super involved in product, but it's actually sort of inappropriate. Like people would no longer welcome that.
And you say you shouldn't be here.
It's like, well, that's what you hired me and these other 20 people in the org chart to do. So like, why are you here pushing pixels around? Like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So that's the biggest difference, I think, between small companies and big companies.
Yeah.